Ever wanted to turn your ComfyUI workflows into a Discord bot? We see that quite often at InstaSD. Today we're going to talk about how you can do that using InstaSD API deployments plus make.com to do it with as little code as possible. And you get something like this. Alright, let's get started. The first thing you want to do is make sure you have your ComfyUI API deployed on InstaSD. If you haven't already done so, we'll link a video in the description that you can follow to have it deployed. So I've already deployed SDXL API here, which I'm going to use to create this bot. Okay, once you have your API deployed, let's head over to Discord and create our application. Go to discord.com/developers, create a new application, give your bot a name. Now we can install this on our Discord server and get it set up. So click on installation, copy the link, drop it here, and that will ask for your server, add it to your server, pick our test server, authorize, and success. Now we can go ahead and start coding this bot. Ideally, we want to do this with no code, but to get the immediate response to messages on Discord, we do need to do a bit of coding. We did create a simple Discord bot, and you can git clone this to your computer, and I'll walk you through how to set this up and run it as your bot. Okay, once you have cloned the repository, let's set it up. First, create a .env file. We're going to fill this up with all the information we need for our code. There's a .env example. These are all the keys you're going to need, and I'll show you how you can get each one of them. For the client ID, head over to your Discord bot and go under OAuth 2. You can grab your client ID, put that here, put that, your client secret. You're going to click this. It's going to give you a client secret, enter your password, copy that, bring it here, and here. Then you can grab your token from the bot, reset your token, yes, do it, and that will give you a token you can copy. Bring that over here. Okay, now your guild ID, this is your server ID. You can get that by going to Discord. Right click on your server and copy the server ID. This one, I'm going to copy this one. Now if you don't see this copy server, click on your settings, go to advanced, then make sure you enable developer mode. Then when you right click here, you should be able to see the server ID. The command is what you see as a slash command. Here I'm just going to set it at SDXL. I'll show you how that works in a second. We can leave the make webhook URL empty for now. We'll do that once we have our bot up and running, and then we want to connect it to make. First thing we need to do is to make sure that this command is actually available on our Discord server, because if you go to Discord right now and you type SDXL, well, you get nothing. To do that, go back here, run npm install to set up your packages, then run this command. Node register command.js, which runs this file. And then if you go back to your Discord, that command is going to be available and you can use it to type your text. Well, that's not going to work because we haven't set up our server yet. Okay, now head back over to your server, run node index.js. Now our bot is online. Let's see if it actually responds. This is not going to create an image, but it's at least lets us know that it is connected to the bot. Alright, so that's great. It does, we do receive it. Now we just need to connect it up to make.com to connect everything and create our image. Alright, let's now connect our bot to InstaSD using make.com. Head over to make.com, create a new scenario. I have included a blueprint in the description. Copy that blueprint and import it here. This is a basic blueprint we built that you can use to send your request from your bot to InstaSD, generate the image, and send it back to Discord. First thing we need to do, let's set up our request to InstaSD. You can get this information from your InstaSD account on the API. You do need to add your InstaSD key here for credentials. To do that, click Add. I am going to use the key. Head over to here, click on API instructions, copy the full key, place it here, add the key to the header. For the key, you need to put authorization. That creates your API key. Then you need your endpoint to run a task. Copy this. And then you also need your body of the request. Copy that body here. Place it here. Now, if you have a prompt, the text that comes from your Discord channel is passed in as a prompt as part of the webhook. So we're just going to replace this with the prompt from the webhook. You can also add a random seed. I'm just going to leave it as fixed for now. Then you need to also edit this HTTP request, which gets the status of your image generation. Head back over to your API instructions, task status, copy this part, and replace here. Everything else can stay the same. Just make sure you pick the key that you just generated. Okay, now we need to set up our Discord connection. But before we can do that, we need to head back to our Discord bot application and set up OAuth 2 to work with make.com. So go over here, add a redirect. I'll include these two links that you need to add in the description. Place that here. Okay, once we have these, save your changes. Now we should be able to create an authorization from here. Click on the Discord, add a connection, enable the advanced settings. These are the same variables we put in our environment variable. So we're going to need our bot token. I'll grab that from our end variable. We're going to need our client ID. And then our client secret. You can leave the permission as is. Click Save. That will open up an authorization. This is connecting our app to make.com, and then we want it to run a test server. Continue, authorize. Okay, now we have a connection. You can leave everything else the same. The channel ID comes from the webhook. That is where the channel that the message was generated from. It will respond back in the same channel. You can edit the message if you wish. Here I'm just responding back to the user, sending the prompt to them, and then I am embedding an image that we got from our response from InstaSD. Make sure you do the same thing for all these Discord connections. They all need to be set up with the correct connection. Some of these are just error handling. Feel free to go ahead and change them as you wish, but this is just a basic setup to send the image back and then try to handle any errors that might occur. Okay, now that we have all that set up, let's connect our webhook to our bot so we can send the messages from Discord to here and generate the image. Go click on this, click on Add. This will give you a webhook. copy this and put it in your environment variables. You'll need to refresh your bot. All right, now we have here, go back, go to your Discord server and type a prompt. This will send it to your server, and then you should see it on make.com. So it's successful. We did receive it here. The first one is not going to generate anything. That's just to get the data from the webhook. Now we can go ahead and delete this one, and then we're going to do a proper one. Now go back to make.com, click on run once, type your prompt. If you look here, you will see that make.com is actually generating the image. Wait for it to go through, and once it's done, we should see an image appear on our Discord channel. And there you have it. You have a fully working Discord bot creating images using InstaSD and your ComfyUI workflows. Now this is running locally. We have set up the code base to be able to deploy to Heroku. Obviously, you can choose to deploy it anywhere else. But if you are deploying to Heroku, there's a little bit of a gotcha. In the proc file, we're creating a worker. Once you deploy to Heroku and set that up, make sure you go to Heroku, click on resources, and make sure you disable the web app and then enable your worker. Because the bots are a server, if you set them on the web, they will time out and will not work. So make sure you do this. Click confirm, and then your bot will be live. Now you could do this without using make.com, and you could do the entire image generation inside your bot, which we'll cover in a separate tutorial. But what it does allow you to do is a great starting point to build on top of this integration and do other services inside of make.com, such as charging your users when they do generate an image on your Discord channel or connecting with other third-party services. If you have suggestions for any other integrations you would like us to build a tutorial for or improvements on this one, let us know in the comments.